Hello guys, welcome back to the second part of the tutorial. In this video we are going to bevel the hard edges to make it look more realistic and then UV unwrap it. Then we are going to take it into Substance Painter for texturing and then come back to Blender for rendering. And if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me in the comments section or on my Instagram ID. So, now without wasting any time, let's get this tutorial started. I'll start the beveling from this part. So go on to the edge mode and then select all the hard edges. Now just apply the bevel onto it. There is one more method of beveling the edges which I don't like that much. Simply go onto the Modifiers tab and choose Bevel Modifier. You can change the bevel amount and the number of segments from here. And if I turn on the wireframe view here, you can see it hasn't beveled all the hard edges. Even if I change the angle here, it still doesn't able to select it properly. So, that's why I prefer the manual way of beveling, as you have more control over the bevel for different edges. I mean, you can add different bevel amount for different edges. And that way it will look more realistic than having a similar bevel amount in all the edges. So, just select the hard edges and then apply the bevel here. I'll just fast forward the process form here. So, you can either follow me from here or just skip to the UV unwrap part directly. Our beveling process is completed, and now let's quickly move on to the unwrapping part. So first I'll isolate this mesh. Now, go on to the UV editing tab here. Now, when I go on to edit mode here, you can see the object's UV in the left-hand side tab. Now first, come on the option here on the right-hand side tab and turn on Live Unwrap. Now, come to the Unwrap tab and click on this new here and change the resolution to 2K. Change the generated type to UV grid and hit OK. Now change the render option to viewport shading. Now, open up the material option and take a new material. I'll rename it as UV. Now click on this yellow dot here and select image texture from here. Now from here, select the UV grid that we have created. So now we can see the UV grid in our model. Now, I'll select these edges here and then right-click and select Mark Seam. You can see it automatically gets unwrapped. Let's do the same here as well. So basically UV wrapping is not a hard process, but it's the most boring process for me. And you will automatically develop the idea of where to put the seams on your model just by practicing it. Now, see this UV island isn't straight, which can create problems later while texturing. So to make it straight, just select this vertex and auto-align it. Now, select this face and then select the whole UV island. Then click on this UV button here and the select Follow Active Quads. And just like that, you can see the UV island get straight. So let's do the same thing with this one as well. Now, I'm having some problem while selecting this UV island. So instead of selecting it like this, just press 4 on the keyboard and select the whole UV island at once, but make sure your active selection is still the face that you have aligned. Now just select Follow Active Quads here and it's done. So let's do the same with the other UV islands as well. Now after making all the UV straight, go on to the Pack Islands tab. Increase the margin amount to 0.005 and hit OK. You can see that some of the UV island got rotated. So, change the rotation to axis aligned and hit OK. Now, select another part and first apply the material that we have created for the UV grid, and then repeat the unwrapping process. From here, I'll fast forward the video, so if you want to follow me, you can just slow it down and watch it. Let's meet in the texturing process then. So the unwrapping is done, and now let's select these front meshes here and isolate them. Go on to Edit mode, and select everything by pressing select all the UV island as well, and then go to UV and select average island scale first. So, all the UV will get scaled to the same value, and then just hit the pack island option. Increase the margin a bit and turn of the rotation. While keeping these selected, press M on the keyboard and move them to a new collection. Come down to the material option here and add a new material. You can rename it if you want, and make sure to remove the UV material as well. Now select the part that has the new material applied, and then select everything by pressing up. Hit Ctrl L on the keyboard and select Link Materials. So, by this way, all the mesh will have the same material applied. You can change the color a bit if you want. Now first turn of the collection of the front part, so that you can easily select the back parts, and then do the same with these parts as well. This UV island is a bit too long, so I'll just mark a seam here first, and then pack it again. Now move these parts into a new collection as well. So, now the model is ready to be exported into Substance Painter for texturing. So press A to select everything, and then go on to File, Export. You can select FBX or OBJ as you like. Check the selected objects here, and then hit Export. So now, we are inside Substance Painter. First, go on to File, and take New File, and select the FBX file in the template option. Change the resolution to 2K, or even 4K if you have a high-end PC. Make sure to turn off the auto unwrap here, and then hit OK. Now first, I'll delete this default layers here, and then come here to Shaders tab, and change the specular quality to medium, high, or very high, as per your PC configuration. And I'll also change the camera focal length to 50. Now, click on this cross icon here and select the baking resolution to 2K or 4K, and then deselect the ID map here. Now hit the Bake Selected Texture button here and wait for the baking to be completed. So, our baking is completed here. Switch back to painting mode here. Now, first I'll bring up the reference image here. And then go onto the Smart Materials here. I'll use this steel medieval material here. So just drag and drop it into your model. This material looks really good here. Now first, I'll change the base color of this material. And then I'll change the edge color as well, and also reduce the edge where I'm out a bit. And if you want, you can change the generator type to this curvature as well. it will look somewhat like this. For now, I'll keep it as metal edgeware. And also I'll change the scratches a bit. Just keep on playing with the settings here until it looks really good to you. Now, I'll change the name of this layer to gray, and then click on this icon here and deselect the meshes that has different color. Now duplicate this layer using Ctrl D and change the base color first. Now, come down here and invert the selection here, and I'll deselect this part here, which doesn't has any black colors. And again, just play with the settings here as well until you get a really nice look. Now, I'll duplicate this layer again for this white color. Come down here again, but this time select Exclude All and just select this mesh here and change the base color to white. Now, apply a black mask in this layer and change the view mode to 3D and 2D. Change the brush size and hardness, and then paint it on the UV of that mesh. I'll change the mask to a white mask and then paint it here. And if you want to erase, just press X to make the brush white and then erase it. Now, again, I'll duplicate this layer one more time for that red color. Change the base color to red. Now, exclude all the mesh here and just select the one that has red color, and again apply a white mask onto it and erase the part that doesn't has the red color. Now, I'll import an image here. Change the map type to alpha and import it into your project. Now take a new fill layer and apply a black mask into it. Select the alpha map that you have just imported and just click and apply it here. Do the same on this side as well. And by changing the base color of your fill layer, you can change the color of your alpha map as well. Now, take a new folder here first, and then right-click on this mask, and select Copy Mask, and then paste the mask in this folder. Now drag this layer inside this folder, and add a generator to it. Click on the generator here and choose this dirt generator. Now when I'll change this generator values, you can see this type to wear effect like it's old and the text is wearing off. You can change your viewport to 3D 2D view and click on this random here to change the wear look. Now this part is also black, so apply the black material and remove the white material from it. Now, copy all the layers from here and go on to the back part and paste it here, and now we just have to apply the materials to its corresponding parts. Now for this mesh here, first apply a white mask in this layer and then select this polygon fill. Now select the UV fill type and click on this mesh to remove the color. I don't want to remove the color completely, so change this color to white and click on the mesh using UV fill type. Now select the quad fill type, change the color to black and deselect these quads. Now, let's add this light here. So, for that, first take a new fill layer, turn off the metal, rough and height, and change the base color to red. Now, you need to turn on this emission first, so for that go on to texture set settings here, and from this plus icon here, just add the emission. I already have it added, so I'll just remove it and add it again. Now, come back to the layer here, and change the emission color to red as well. And apply a black mask onto it. And select this quad fill type and just select these quads. Now, to get rid of these jaggery edges here, go onto the layer mask, right-click and apply a filter here. Select the blur filter here, and now you can see that these edges aren't jaggery anymore. You can change the blur amount if you want. Now, for this grip part, I have downloaded a material which I will provide in the link below in the description. So just download it and import it into your project and just apply it into this mesh. Remove it from all the mesh and just apply it on this one. Now I'll change some settings here, which you can copy if you need, or you can just play with these settings and see for yourself which style you like. So our texturing is done here, and it's time to export the texture map and go on a Blender for rendering. So for that, go on a File, Export Textures, and then select the location you want your maps to be exported. Make a folder, and inside that folder, make another 2 folder, as we have 2 materials in our model. Now, change the output template to PBR metallic roughness. Keep the file type same, and change the size to 4K or 2K. And you can see the texture map that will be exported from here. Now, just hit the export button and wait for the texture map to be exported. Now, go back to the settings window and select this front material this time, and change the directory, and then just hit export. So now, we are inside Blender, and first go on to the shading tab here. Now, go on to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and search for Node Wrangler add-in and enable it. Now, select this material and press Ctrl-Shift-T on the keyboard, and select the texture map that we have exported, so it'll automatically get connected with its respective sets. Do the same with the front material as well. Now, go back to the Layout tab. And here you can see this part doesn't have any emission. So for that, just go onto the material here and increase the emission value. And you can also turn on this bloom and ambient occlusion as well. But for now, I will turn this emission off because I want to apply some decals first. So, I'm using a plugin here which is known as Decal Machine. I'll provide this plugin in the description below so you guys can use it for free. Now, to use this plugin, just hit D on the keyboard and this type of menu will pop up. And here you can see there are so many decals available. Now, go to the part where you want to use your decals and select the decal that you want to apply. Scale it down a bit and adjust its position. Now from here, you can change the material color as well. So just try to match it with the surface that it has been applied. Now, coming down a bit, here you can see material emission, and if I increase this value, it will look like this. And if I increase the emission value of this light, for some reason, this decal's emission also gets affected. So for that, I'll apply the emission at last. Now, if I turn on the bloom here, it'll look like this. And we're going to render the final output using cycles, so this bloom will not have any effect onto it. But for now, you can keep this turn on. Now, I just have to mirror it on the other side first. and then press D and select project here. And it looks really good here. Now, let's bring up the reference image and let's apply some decals here as well. So, I'll just skip this decal applying part and meet you guys after this is done. So, I have applied the decals and now is looking really good. Now, first change the render engine to cycles. And if your GPU supports cycle render, then select it. And I'll decrease this sample value to 100. Now, increase the emission value of this light. Now, take a new camera from here and go onto the camera view first. Go onto the view and toggle on this camera to view option. Now set up your camera angle. I'll just keep the camera like this. Now, turn off the camera to view. Now, go onto this World tab here and click on this yellow dot here and select Environment Texture. Now from here, you can select your HDRI map. Now, go onto the Render tab here and go down here to Film menu and turn on the transparent option. So it'll make your background transparent. And I'll go to the shading menu once again and change this to World First. Now, select this node here and press Ctrl T to bring up the texture mapping nodes. And I'll increase the dry map strength to 2. Now, before adding the lights into our scene, I'll first split my viewport here. Just right-click on this line here and select vertical split. So now, I'll make this one as my camera view, and on the other viewport I can add my lights. And now, I'll add some area lights into our scene, which you can just simply follow. Go on to render and just render image here, just to see how it's looking. I'll just change the camera angle a bit first, and then I'll rotate the HDRI as well. So for that, come to the Shading tab, and from here, we can change its rotation. I'll turn off the transparent film here, just to see how it is rotating. Oh, sorry, I'm changing the scale by mistake. You can rotate it from here. I'll change the strength back to 1, and then keep adjusting. I'll just select some different HDRI. So this one looks good. Just rotate it a bit to get a good light. Now, turn the transparent film back. Now, let's render it again and see the result. So, the render looks good. Now, go on to the Compositing tab here. Turn on this Use Node option first. Now, press Shift-A on the keyboard and take a viewer node here. Connect this viewer node with the render layer here. So now we can see our rendered image here. Use V and Alt-V to zoom out and zoom in. Now, pick a glare node here and connect it in between these two nodes. Then change the glare type to fog glow and increase the quality to high. Now you can see the bloom effect here. And if I decrease the threshold value, you can see the glow of the light increases. So keep the threshold value to 0.2 to get a nice bloom effect. Now let's go to the rendering tab here and change this to viewer result. You can see the bloom effect. But in the render result, the bloom effect is not coming. So, for that, just copy the glare node and paste it in between the composite node. And now, if I switch back to the render tab, you can see the bloom effect. So let's do a new render and see if the glare is coming or not. I'll just change the camera angle a bit and then hit render image. Just wait for the render to complete. So yes, the bloom is now coming directly in the render result. So that's the end of this tutorial here. And if this video is helpful to you, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. Thank you and have a nice day.